Welcome to Talking Art. I'm Abby Taylor. The fall season is a heady time in the art market, and this season we are showcasing our post-war and contemporary works alongside of what we like to call our masters of technique, 18th century painting through to Impressionism. And by the end, I'm hoping that you feel like you took a gallery tour with us. So I think that we just jump right into the 19th century with an academic painter, Leon Perrault.
He's lavished a great deal of attention on this silk dress, and your eye is drawn there, but you certainly don't want to miss the attention to detail in the flowers and the gilded edges of the pages of the book.
And the reason I start with the 19th century is to show you the difference between the 19th century and the 18th century. Very different technique going on here. A lot of glazing, a lot of luminosity in this work.
I love all these little gestures the kids are making in these chubby little hands.
Being a woman, I've always been attracted to the subject matter of Diana. And Mark and I are no strangers to this topic because we've dealt in sculpture, and Diana always has figured very prominently in the world of sculpture.
Down here you see there's a hunting scene. They've got a stag, might be a reference to Actaeon of the myth. And I love the way that he's brought the dogs here into the composition to help you move around the space.
And we fast forward to the Barbizon movement, which is really a precursor to Impressionism. Courbet was one of the great masters of the time, and he had a great influence on the Barbizon artists to sort of build up this very empastic paint surface, very meaty, sort of different approach to the elegance we just saw. One of the great painters of the 19th century is Belgian artist Alfred Stevens. Here we see that the woman has probably been out. She still has on her hat, and you see a glove dropped on the floor and one over here at the bassinet. So obviously she's rushed in to urgently nurse this child. It's a scene of great intimacy, and I think it's very interesting to note that this is a male artist and he has a real respect for this subject of maternity.
So we're back to mythology here, the story of Jupiter and Mercury in the house of Philemon and Baucis. Philemon and Baucis don't know that they're being visited by gods. When they find out that they want to feed him their goose. The goose is a little distressed about becoming dinner and is animated, is knocked over the stool here.
Your light source comes from back there, but it streaks in, lights up her shoulder, her face. Every bit of this, I see the influence of perhaps an artist like Chardin. Drawings are such an important part of the 19th century, and we see here one of the greatest draftsmen, Leon L'Hermite. He worked alongside of Millet, and he often depicted the peasants out in the fields, and in this work, I see and know that Van Gogh was greatly inspired by this artist. And then we move to sort of a forgotten master. His name was Théodule Ribaud. And Ribaud is a precursor to what we see Manet doing, which was a very pivotal moment in art history. So this striking use of white against the black here, minimalist use of information going on in the picture, and the brushwork is everything. So when you look at this piece, he captures a sort of empathy for what we call the dentelier. We have an Italian artist here, Vincenzo Iroi. And a lot of this video, as we said, is about technique, the mastery of technique, and this artist has it. Just look at how he puts all the color into this piece with bold, bold strokes. In this, an important theory within Impressionism is that light eats away at form, and you definitely feel that happening here with her hair and into the dress here.
The subject of the painting is the young woman who has probably passed away and is being led to heaven by the angel, but it's a glorification of passing in this sort of nondescript landscape. It's golden, full of light.
It's all about the technique. Here in the Seti, we see an amazing use of line. In fact, it's fluid. You almost feel he moves from one figure to the next without breaking his line. How did he do that? And over here with the murales, the Spanish artist, you know, just looking in the bonnet here at the brushwork and how he intimates the flowers and he puts in this crisp white color here. Extraordinary technique. One of the reasons that I love the 19th century is that in Europe, this was the golden era of academic painting. So there weren't just a few masters, there were many great artists, such as the two that we have here.
This work is expertly cast, expertly modeled, of a jockey who has just finished a race. The chasing on the horse is beautiful. You can see the veins popping out. The reins are mussed. The horse is just finishing its motion here. It bears the payroll mark. It's the founder and also the artist's brother-in-law.
Here we have the Belgian artist, David de Noter. Look at the light on the lily and on the roses. He moves from his blacks to his whites. Masterful technique, the translucency in the grapes here, just beautiful. Talking about nuanced passages, there's one here that is particularly lovely in this Pierre Brouillet, where the way that the light hits her blouse, the light blues under the flesh tones in her chest, and the way that he's delineated her ear, and you even see light reflecting through it, right down to the touches of blue in the clog. We end here with Impressionism, and I did this purposely because I wanted everybody to see the 18th century and the 19th century to remind you how fresh and how new this movement was, how extraordinary the vision was of the Impressionists to change color palette, to change their brushwork. We see here an artist who, for instance, is using dots, a movement called pointillism, to capture light. So appropriate to finish with the Luigi Loire, which to me is a melding between old master respect for painting, color palette, along with new impressionist ideas.
I love this composition. Loire gives you a very intimate Paris scene here. The light from the windows are spilling out onto the road. And he cuts the canvas right in half, the transitional figure between all the people here and this left-hand side where you've got a mile-long view.
One thing that was important to these artists was capturing a very specific time of day, and here it's when the sun is going down and the lights of Paris are coming out.
On the contemporary front, we have a strong focus on the works of Jasmina Danowski.
In addition to Danowski, it will be our first season working with the estate of West Coast abstractionist Don Totten. In our modern to contemporary program, we've had a real focus on the Asian American artists from about 1930 to the present. And we are particularly pleased to announce that we're going to be having works by Kiyoshi Otsuka. In what may be a volatile art market this coming season, we look to reassure you with what we believe has value and comfort.
Online with us, you will get accurate information, images, and video. However, we remain here for you in person, both at our New York City viewing space as well as our Greenwich, Connecticut gallery.
It's really all about quality. Quality art, quality information, and the quality of experience.